guys! I am so excited to welcome you back again to Filipindian Tales. Well, my dear friends and my subscribers, I was not lost in case you're wondering. Hindi po ako nawala. Let's just say, I took a little sabbatical. Yes, in the last couple of months, I've been busy with a lot of things. Basically, busy living life. So please forgive me if I've not been uploading in the last couple of months, but here I am back. And then once again, I hope I'll be able to give you insights or a glimpse of my life as a Filipino Indian, a Filipindian, and how these two cultures are somehow intertwined. My last video was December, and a lot of things happened in between, from December, January, February, and now it's March. We all know that we're still gripped by the pandemic, and so we had a very, very simple and quiet celebration of Christmas with a few of our friends. And of course, New Year was also uneventful because, we cannot party like we used to, like the previous years. But of course, some of the five-star hotels in the city did have their New Year bash like they used to. But then we decided to stay at home and welcome 2021 with a lot of hope for a brighter and healthier year. Then Pongal came, which is our harvest festival here in South India, and that's my chance to show off to my husband that I can actually make Ven Pongal, or the white Pongal, the rice Pongal that we cook during that kind of festival. And to make it a little more special, I even made Chakra Pongal this time. Chakra Pongal is the sweet version of the Pongal. And actually, that was the first time I made Chakra Pongal, or the sweet Pongal, and I think I did well. Well, thanks to you too. I know these are very small things to celebrate the occasion, but then these are the little things that we actually forget to appreciate when we were given, so many options in life. These days, we have to be happy with what we can do within the confines of our homes. Our wedding anniversary in January was also celebrated very, very quietly. Just, a simple dinner at one of our favorite restaurants in town. Then came my birthday and then Valentine's Day, all celebrated in a very simple manner. But one very exciting thing that happened recently was our vaccination. I know this may not be a big deal for many, but to us, it signals hope. Really huge hope for a much healthier tomorrow. Speaking to some of my friends and even a few relatives, both here in India and in the Philippines, and in other parts of the globe, I realized that there are still many who don't believe or still doubt the safety and the efficacy of this vaccine, or whatever vaccine that's offered to them. Well, I'm not one to say that the vaccination is a surefire solution to what we are experiencing today. But I'd say this is the beginning of rehabilitation or of things getting better. For this episode of Filipindian Tales, I have gathered a few frequently asked questions of those who are still uncertain or still in doubt as to the efficacy of the vaccine. How do we get vaccinated? What is the procedure of registering for vaccination, specifically here in India? And then later on, my and my husband's experience when we got vaccinated. So let's jump right ahead. The COVID vaccine in India was launched on 16th January 2021. And just like any other country, the first recipient of the vaccines are the healthcare workers and the frontliners. The second group to receive the vaccines are those who are 60 years old and above. And as a special case, those who are between 45 and 59 years old with comorbid conditions are also eligible to take the vaccines. And this vaccination for the second and the third group with special conditions have started on March 1st of 2021. Among the list of frequently asked questions are, number 1, is it mandatory to take the vaccine? The government of India's Ministry of Health says getting vaccinated is voluntary. However, their advice is to get vaccinated to prevent oneself from getting the disease and to limit the spread of this disease to friends, relatives, and family members. Another big doubt is the safety of the vaccine, because many people argue that this vaccine was created in a very short span of time. The health ministry's reply to this is that these vaccines have been introduced in the country only after the regulatory bodies actually approve them after testing its efficacy and safety to be administered to the people. Another question is that, if a person already had COVID and has recovered, is it still necessary for him or her to take the vaccine? The answer to that is yes. Irrespective of your past history of getting infected by the virus, it is still advisable to get vaccinated so that you can develop, he or she who's been infected by the disease can develop an immune system that will prevent them from getting the disease again. Another question is that for people who are actually taking medicines or any treatment for cancer, hypertension, diabetes, and any other sickness, is it safe for them to take the vaccine? Well, again, the health minister's answer is yes. People with one or two of these comorbid conditions are at high risk category. Therefore, they need to get vaccinated as soon as possible. And now, a very valid question that I myself had, before taking the vaccine. What are the possible side effects of the vaccine? The Indian Health Ministry says that just like any other vaccine, there may be some side effects like mild fever, weakness, or pain at the site of the injection. In fact, the state government or the local government are actually actively monitoring any serious side effect that could occur for anyone who's been vaccinated. And then finally, personal questions to me as to how I got vaccinated, because first, I am not yet in the 60+ category and I am a foreigner here in India. I got this question several times, and I think it's important for me to address this because there are a lot of foreigners living in India, and some of you may be wondering, how do you get the vaccine? So to answer the first question, how did I get the vaccine even if I don't fall on that 60+ category? I may not fall on the 60+ category, but I fall on that category wherein 45 to 59 years old of age with comorbidity conditions. And so because I had conditions that allows me to get into that category, I was able to register and get myself vaccinated. The second question is, as a foreigner, how did I get my vaccine in India? The answer to that question is that I am holding an OCI card here in India by virtue of my marriage to my husband. The OCI card is basically like a resident permit here in India, and because I have that, I am accorded health facilities and health benefits while staying in the country. And then another question came up that if they're a foreigner, living in India, working in India, and they don't have an OCI card, how do they get vaccinated? Well, I'm sorry, but I really don't have an answer to that. And what I'd say is that, I think your employer is the best person to, deal with this, because I'm sure they would know what are your eligibilities while you are staying in India. Now let's go to the part where you actually want to get vaccinated and you don't know how to get registered or how to actually get the vaccination process done. The government of India has actually made it very, very easy to get vaccinated and be protected. Here I will guide you on the process of the registration and the options given. So here, as you can see, there is a document for the citizen registration and appointments for vaccination. They call it a user manual, and it was developed on the 27th of February 2021. So here you can see that everything can be found on the CoWIN website of the Government of India, Ministry of Health, and it was also made into an app so that it can be easily accessed by anyone. So here they're just talking about how the Government of India is taking all the necessary steps to ensure that the nation is prepared to face the challenge and threat posed by the growing contagion of the disease. So we can actually read a lot of these things here, and how is it important for one to get vaccinated. So here is a very easy illustration that talks about how to actually get vaccinated. First, you have to register yourself and others. So basically, using your mobile phone or your mobile phone number, you can actually register yourself and some of your family members. And they said a maximum of 4 people can be registered in one number. In our case, actually, I was registered at the mobile number of my husband. So both of us were actually registered just in one number. So in the same platform, you can actually select the vaccination center of your choice. So you can easily, find out whichever is closer to you and which is more convenient for you to go. So that's the vaccination center that you choose. And then the next step would be to schedule the date of vaccination from available slots at center of your convenience. So again, whatever is convenient for you, the time slot, the place where you want to get vaccinated, everything can be chosen in the website or in the app. And then finally, you get yourself vaccinated from the selected center on a scheduled date. So you just have to be there, present yourself, maybe with some IDs just to prove that, it is you who has been, registered, and then you will automatically be given the vaccination. All the information can be had in this website, for which the link I'm leaving in the description box below. So that's it. I think it's a very, very easy way of registering. They made it really, really easy and comfortable for anyone to register and, get vaccinated and be protected from this virus that, that's been going around. So the process that I showed you, specifically the selection of the vaccination center and the scheduling, holds true for those who want to avail of the government vaccine. That's free actually. You don't need to pay anything. In fact, some of the vaccination centers, I believe, even offers some snacks or coffee or some juices out there. But there are also people who opt for private hospitals, and that's what we actually did, my husband and I. And this is where I begin to tell you our experience. So the vaccination process for the category that I mentioned earlier, the 60 and above, plus the 45 to 59 with comorbidities, actually started on March 1st. But then we didn't want to go on the first day itself or the second day, so we decided that, okay, we go on the third day. And so we head out to the Apollo Hospital in OMR. Even before entering the building, we were thoroughly checked, our temperature, our IDs, our registrations and everything. And we were also marked with a sticker on our shirt or on our dress. Then we were directed to go straight to the 4th floor where the vaccination is being administered. They said, don't go anywhere else, you just have to go straight to the 4th floor so as to avoid any other things or getting any other sickness from the hospital, because after all, it's a hospital. So we were directed straight to the 4th floor. As soon as we entered the vaccination hall, we had to show our registration and our ID proof, which in our case is our Aadhaar card and the driving license. So for some who did not register online, the hospital also offers, spot registration. So there was a queue for those who have already registered and another queue for those who are registering on site. And then next we have to pay the 250 rupees each for the vaccination. Yeah, that's it. That's the cost of the vaccination, which I feel is very, very nominal, considering that it's not even the cost of your Frappuccino from Starbucks. And then we were escorted to the vaccination room where our blood pressure was checked, and then we were asked questions about our allergies, the medicines that we were taking, and all those simple questions about our health parameters. Then the big moment came, and if you know me, you know that I am very bad with needles. So I was just praying that I don't scream so loud that the entire hospital gets disturbed. In fact, a lady doctor, seeing me making the sign of the cross, came up to me and, started reassuring me that, this is nothing. This is just like an ant bite. She calmed me down and she even accompanied me to the whole process of vaccination. And through it, it's nothing more than an ant bite. No blood, no pain. And then we were asked to wait for 30 minutes, just in case we experience some uneasiness or discomfort after getting the vaccine. But my husband and I were fine. We even had a cup of coffee while actually waiting for the 30-minute mark. And well, as you can see, I was more than fine when I saw the photo booth that was set up by the hospital for us to take our photographs and proudly say that, we are vaccinated. Well, as I've said earlier, some people may actually experience some side effects, like some lightheadedness, light fever, or, just some pain on that part where you got vaccinated. In fact, we have some friends who actually had fever, but, it didn't last more than a day. The next day they were okay, and some of them had some lightheadedness or feeling of weakness. But they said it's all normal. In fact, in some of the vaccination centers, I was told, They even hand out, crocin or any paracetamol in case, they experience some of these instances like fever and all. So they say it's normal. It's just a way of, your body telling you that the vaccine is actually working. So as a whole, I'd say our experience was fine. We never had any problem, both my husband and I. And we're just looking forward to the next dose of vaccine that will be given to us after 28 days. I know that there's still some of you who may be skeptical about taking the vaccine, and I'd say, it's your choice. Well, I guess that's the reason why the vaccine is not compulsory, but rather voluntary. No one is compelled to get vaccinated. It is completely your choice. After all, it is your body. And only you can decide what can be done or not. So that's it for me, guys. Well, I hope you learned a thing or two in this episode of Filipindian Tales, and I hope you join me in our succeeding episode. And please do remember that, we are still in the pandemic. We are not yet out of the situation. So please continue to, observe precautionary measures, all the protocols, wear your mask, still practice social distancing, and, try to avoid crowded places. And always remember, oh my God, I miss saying this. Life is a journey and not a race. So let's have fun along the way. Bye for now, guys.